Dina Domoja, though the audio is not yet on, but at least in the course of the program, he will join us. This is the beginning of the session for 2023-2024 academic session. We have a new student in our midst, and we have the state students who joined our second semester of last session. They'll be wrapping up their session, at the end of this particular semester. Then they'll be left with one or two other things as part of the requirement for the program. We'll be talking on things that are related to our program, what we need to know, the do and the don'ts of the program. Like the WhatsApp platform that was created. This platform was created for the purpose of this program and for the purpose of this set, so that we can always, communicate effectively and, in a better way. We can always access information relating to this program from the WhatsApp platform. It's not a religious platform. It's not a political platform. So especially, we are not expected to post anything that has to do with religion or political on the group. So it's purely for social work activities. Anything outside social work is no on that platform. As you know that we are starting the session, though it has started already. So it's a 9-month program. For those who have called to make inquiry, and those who started last year, it's a 9-month program. Why theirs is longer is because they joined us second semester of last session, but they will be completing their session. So it's a 9-month program. As we start now, by give or take by end of October, it's expected that we should be done with everything doable as regards this program. The first semester, second semester coursework, field work, what is there again? Our seminar presentation and the project. Whereas by end of October, it is expected of us to have submitted all our projects. So, and after that, those who love to become a licensed member can also apply. So we conduct induction for you, and you become a professional social worker. Because being student or graduate of a social work does not confer on you professional status. So you need to be inducted as a member. Then when you have your license, you can now say, okay, I'm now a professional social worker. Even if you travel out and they ask you, you say you're a social worker, they will ask you, do you have a license to practice? If you don't have a license to practice and you're not a member, so how do you now call yourself a professional? So if you want to be a professional, you have to be a professional in its totality. By that virtue, you derive a professionalism in that profession it claims to belong to. So that is that about that. And our admission is still going on, and I want to appreciate one or two people in our midst who have been recommending the program, to other people. They'll be sharing the flyer, and also they'll be calling to make inquiry. And some of them, I think somebody joined 2 days ago, and fantastically, this person has recommended about 2-3 people who joined yesterday, and they are here on the platform. So I want to appreciate that particular individual. And there's another one of our older students who are, so great. People keep calling me and they keep mentioning her name, that this also person recommended these programs to us, and this person has been on us to even join. So, and I want to say a very big thank you to Mrs. Balogun, for the good job she has been doing for us. God bless you, ma. So that's for that on the enrollment. We're still going through the documents you have submitted. So if there's any one or two that you have not submitted, we still call on you to, to send the document across to us. So don't be surprised if I call you or send you email or WhatsApp message to please send me so document. Don't say, but I've been given admission, so I don't need to. Please just oblige me that, and you shall be blessed. Then for deferment is allowed. in case you want to defer your admission, maybe for one reason or the other. But before you can defer your admission, you must have at least pay something. At least, like I said, if you want to pay anything, you pay nothing less than 100,000 as your first installment payment. So for you to defer your admission either for second semester or to another session, you must have paid something that will now hold down that your admission. If not, if you are coming next year, you are coming, to apply newly, and that means the 20,000 application fee you have paid this year is a goner. So you need to reapply. But if you pay something down, then you can now use that to hold down your admission. And I think this is the practice anywhere, across the globe. Then for withdrawal too, like maybe for one reason or the other, you cannot continue again. Well, there's always another time. So you contact us. We also see how we can come in. This is advice or anything that we can do to just, have a very good relationship as regards that. Then we do that for you. Then in terms of certification too, many people have been asking, who issued the certificate? Is it the C-ISOWN or we are affiliated to a particular university or institution? This is College of Social Work. It's an academic arm of the institute. It's an academic arm of the Chartered Institute of Social Work, Partners of Nigeria. And don't forget, one of our mandates, is certifications of professional social workers in Nigeria. We are the only one with that mandate. Certifications of social work professionals is our mandate. So it's our own responsibility to issue certificates at the end of the day. So we're going to do that. So before I hand over the mic to Dr. Kemi Otun, I would like us to introduce ourselves. I've introduced myself, and I think it is better we know ourselves better before I ask her to, pick up from here, because she has a class by one, so that at least we can discuss one or two things before we move to the first class of the day. So I will be calling you according to how the names appear here. Though someone is using a Techno Pop 5, so maybe you should just change. Okay, maybe you should please just introduce yourself. Tell us your name and probably where you work or what you do. We want to know you better, please. Okay, and please, you have to be audible.
My name is Onokoya. I'm a civil servant. Onokoya Tululope.
Okay, Onokoya Tululope. Civil servant. Okay, you are welcome, ma. Yes. Adekimi Desmond. Please, can you speak up?
I worked under Ifakojayi local government.
All right, you're fine, ma. You're fine, ma.
Hello,
sir. We can hear you. Thank you. Yes, Adekimi Desmond.
Hello, sir. Can anyone hear me?
Good morning, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. My name is Adekimi Bamidele. I'm happy to be here. I'm a super worker and live in the United Kingdom.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes.
And how is the weather over there?
Very, very cold. I think we are minus, is it 3 or 4? Minus 3 or 4 this morning.
Great. Thank you. You're welcome to the program. Hello, Grace. I don't know which of the Grace is this.
Yeah, my name is Grace. Yeah, Grace Madadugo or Grace of Guinea.
Okay.
Yes. I work with Zero Depth Concept. I'm the lady you're talking about that just joined last 3 days.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Some of your friends, they've called to make inquiries.
Yeah.
God, I really thank you.
Like I'm in class. I'm doing my master's.
Please, hope they are here, because I joined lately, so I didn't know. Hope they are here with us.
We get to know. We get to know. Don't worry. We get to know.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
I've added them to the group. Thank you. Yes.
Right.
Yes, Mrs. Okoro. Okoro Newaya. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Okoro Naya from Ebonyi State.
All right. How is Ebonyi today?
I'm fine. We are okay. We just the hammer time. Yeah. I'm working.
All right.
Social worker in Onisha local government.
All right. All right. Thank you.
I'm happy to be here. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Grace Akinyade, if you are there, please unmute and talk to us.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Akinyade Grace. I'm into sewing. I live in Ibadan.
Okay. All right, that's great. How is Ibadan today?
Ibadan's
I
fine.
hope you were not affected by the explosion that happened the other day.
No, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anna Tema.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my sister.
I'm Anna Tema. I'm from Lagos State. I'm a business.
All right, you are welcome, man. You are welcome.
Yes.
Blessing Duru.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. My name is Duru Blessing. I work as the program manager of a non-profit organization, and we're based in Owerri, Imo State.
All right. Okay, but it's afternoon in Lagos State.
No, I'm in Owerri, but I'm currently in Qatar at the moment for holiday.
All right. You are still enjoying your vacation. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Chidima Ugoji, if you are there, please unmute and to us.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I am Chidima Ugoji from Niger State, Nigeria, West Africa.
All right.
I am a social worker. I work with an NGO that is centered on residential services and child protection. Thank you.
All right, that's great. So we have some social workers among us, but just that they are not yet certified or professional in the real realm of it. So you are welcome, Chidima. Let me have a Dominion Olajide. If you are there, please unmute and talk to us. Okay, Dominion. Okay. Doris Azu.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
They can hear you.
My name is Doris Azu, currently based in Sokoto. I work with a local NGO.
All right. How is Sokoto today?
Sokoto is fine, sir.
All right, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Is Olajide Domino there? It's like it's not with us. Florence Oji.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Florence Oji.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Oji Florence. I'm a businesswoman. I based in Port Harcourt.
All right, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Georgia Ejele, if you are there, please.
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible? Okay, because I'm in church, I had to just come to one side to
all right, no problem. No problem.
My name is Georgia Lavdas Ejele. This is my second semester. I joined last year.
Yes.
So I'm a new student, but an old student as well. I'm based in Africa, the FCT, and I'm into skincare. I'm looking forward to having my certification so I can practice the profession after my heart. Thank you for the good work here.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dominion Olajide, if you are there, please. You are on mute, so you can talk to us now. Hello, Olajide.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
We can hear you. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
I'm Dominion Olajide Alade from Ibadan. I'm a civil servant in University of Ibadan.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are welcome, sir. I hope you were not affected by the explosion of last week or this week.
No, at all, sir. Thank you very much for your concern, sir.
Grace, okay, we have Ahmed Olafimiho. If he's there. Okay, like it's not with us. Uhoma. Is he home, my dear? Micah Hackman.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nhoma. I'm a legal practitioner and I base in Lagos.
Oh, Barrister, how are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you.
Yeah.
So whenever we need your service, we will contact you.
That will also require payment.
Ah, all right. Mary Han Adigoke. Mary Han Adigoke.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. Good
Happy
afternoon.
New Year to everybody.
You're welcome.
So my name is Marianne Adegoke Mapenzi. I enrolled last year from the second semester, hoping to do the first semester this time around. I work with Christiana Faith Foundation as the Child Protection Field Officer.
Okay.
And I'm glad to be here to learn more so that I can be more professional.
That's great. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. If you are there, please unmute and speak and talk to us. She's not here. Sam Akinwale. Sam
Hello,
Akinwale.
good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Mas.
Good afternoon. We can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Sam Akinwale. I'm based in Lokoja, Kogi State, Nigeria. I'm into printing and publishing. I'm glad to be here.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Temitope Murayo Njoku.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, we can hear you.
My name is Temitope Murayo Njoku. I'm a public servant with National Health Insurance Authority. I stay in Abuja. I'm very happy to be here. Yes, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So you're Akinya. If you are there, please unmute and talk to us. Toyosi Akinya. We cannot hear you, ma'am. Hello? Okay, we can't hear. Okay, Balogun Anika is just joining us, but the audio is not yet on. There's a user, somebody with a user, we don't know. Please, if you are there, kindly unmute and talk to us. There's another person with a Samsung SM. Please, if you are there, you can talk to us.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, Akman.
My name is Imaika Akman. I am a volunteer worker at a rehab center presently.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. Somebody with a Samsung SM. Who is that?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Alice HMB. I'm based in Abuja.
Okay, Alice HMB. All right. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Toyosi Akinya is back.
Okay.
My name is Akinya Adetoyosi Omolabake.
You're welcome.
I'm based in Osun State. I work with Osun State Local Government Service Commission.
You're welcome.
And, I'm also a musician.
Oh, that's great. So when
I'm
we
glad
need your
to be part
service,
of this.
so house, we have a musician in our midst. So in case you have any question, you can always contact her.
Yes,
and
so I'm available.
She won't charge you much.
At all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Alice. There's one Alice. We have 2-3 Alice, so please just tell us your own name. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, cause.
Yes, I'm Alice HMB.
Okay, okay. Okay, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Mwane, you're welcome.
Thank you. I'm Nwanne from Enugu State.
All right.
I'm a businesswoman.
Hello.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, Alice, we can hear you. All right. Thank you, everybody. You can see that the program is a national program. I mean, it's a national, it has this national coloration. So it's not limited to Lagos, it's not limited to Ogun State or one particular region. You can see that we have listened to somebody from Sokoto, from Niger State, from Enugu, from Port Harcourt, Osun State, and Kogi State. So it's a national program. And we thank God we have somebody from UK, we have somebody who's presently in Qatar. So it has gone beyond national. It has, it is a global program. Anywhere you are, provided you are connected, so you can always be part of us. So there's no excuse whether there's no network in my village or there's no network. No, once you are connected, you are good to go. So please help us to also spread the good news, to those who have not heard about us. They can also be part of the program. We are just starting. We've not really gone far. So you can see accommodate as much people. I don't know if Dr. Kemi Otun can unmute and talk to Rosma. Social worker Ferdinand is not yet on with his audio. So maybe when it's on, then we have him.
Are you ready for me?
Yes, ma. You can come in, ma. Thank you, ma. Please, let's welcome Dr.
I
Kemi.
am in a bit busy environment today, but you people will accommodate me like that.
We will do that, ma.
Yes, please don't be offended.
At all.
So please don't be offended. We are in Lagos, so we might not be able to hold the other party not to do what they like in their house. My course is basically on I think I'm taking 2 courses for this semester. And this semester is going to be a very short semester. And I think that we need to work together so that we can achieve a lot. Because when it comes to the 2 basic theories I'm taking, they are very essential to the field of our practice. And we might really need to create more time to study it fully so that we can achieve a lot within the very short period. I am to meet you people just 4 times within the period of this to what it's all about. Then we will discuss different types of theory that is very essential to social work, which will include the conflict theory, the contingency theory, the developmental theory, the ecological theory, the family life cycle theory, the family system theory, the grandiose theory, the humanistic theory, the psychodynamic theory, the psychosocial development theory, the rational choice theory, the social constructionist theory, and the social esteem theory. Because many a times we always interchange these theories together unknowingly, and we think we are still using one of it. Then we also discuss the social learning theory, the transpersonal theory. All of these theories are theories that are borrowed from different fields of practice, from different places. But at the field of social work, we look at the practicalistic aspect of these theories, how these theories could be put into use, and how we could achieve the aim of meeting the client's need. So we will discuss the importance of these theories to the work practice in the field of social work, and we also discuss the application of these theories in the practice of social work. So those are the areas we are going to discuss in this class. But before we go further, or before we start the theory class, I want every one of us to know, when we talk about social work, what the concept of social work is. What the concept of social work is, so that we can really understand why we are in this class and what is the benefit of us to those who are in need of our services. Why we need to sacrifice our time, our knowledge, our resources in general to those who are in need of our
We're not hearing you again, ma.
Ma, we can't hear you.
Ma, we can't hear you.
We can't hear. We can't hear. We can't hear.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now, ma.
Okay. I hope I've been audible since.
No, ma. We have not heard you for the
Wow.
past 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I'm really sorry
Let me hear
about
you.
that. Can we all hear me now?
Yes, ma.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear you, ma. Yes, ma.
I'm really sorry about that. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. I said in this semester, we have a very short period in this semester, and I'm going to handle 2 courses, and one of the courses is today on, which is theories of social work. And I also mentioned that in this theory of social work, we are going to divide the curriculum into 4 so that we can meet up with those classes. And I said that we need to work together so that we can achieve a lot within that short period. So I said earlier that by dividing the curriculum into 4, we all need to work hard, concentrate, and put our efforts in working to achieve the best for us. Because theory is one of the basic rock of the practice of social work. So we need to know these basic theories and the application and when and how to use them. So I started further by talking about the curriculum. Our curriculum is break into different edges, and the basic thing is that we are going to touch the following. Do introduction to theory, and then we'll now talk about different types of theories, which include the conflict theory, the contingency theory, the developmental theory, the ecological theory, the family life cycle theory, the family system theory, the grandiose theory, the humanistic theory, the psychodynamics theory, the psychosocial development theory, the rational choice theory, the social constructionist theory, the social esteem theory. These 2 are always interchangeably used instead of one or the other, and we think that we are using one or the other. So we need to know the difference between these 2. Then we also talk about the social learning theory, the transpersonal theory, and the importance of all these theories to the field of social work practice and the applications of all these theories in practice. I hope I'm still audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I said that before we go further, I will do a brief introduction about what social work is. For some of us who are coming from a very different background, so we can easily identify why we are in this field, what we are expected to do in this field, and how we are expected to carry out our services to those who are in need of those services. I say social work is one of the academic discipline. It's one of the academic discipline that is practiced professionally in order to meet up with the basic needs of individuals, families, group of people, communities, and society as a whole in order to enhance their well-being. In order to enhance their well-being. It draws the area of the psychology, the sociology, the political science, community development, law, health, economic, policies, and so many other disciplines together in order to meet up the goals and needs of those who are living to expect some services to enhance the better living of these people. Please, I will advise that every one of us should put our phone into mute, except my own, so that other people can enjoy the class. We are all having children, and I also apologize earlier that I am somewhere where they are doing some little construction. I have no choice because this is where the class meets me. I couldn't do it within the comfort of my zone. So you should bear with me. So we shouldn't have another extra distraction so that the class can flow properly. When we talk about the practice of social work practice is often divided into 3 levels. We have the macro level, which involves direct interaction with individuals and families by providing counseling, therapy, in order to assist them to meet up the basic needs of why our services is needed. Then we also have what we call the meso level of our practice. This involves working with groups and community in order to achieve or provide the services that is needed by those people. And sometimes we make use of agencies to get to the basic needs of this group of people. Why at the 3rd level, we talk about the macro services. And the macro services involve fostering of change in a large scale through advocacy, social policies, research development, and many a times these involve both government, non-government agencies, and sometimes international and public services, so as to get to this level of need. I hope I'm communicating.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you're communicating.
Are we getting it right? Though we still have some other classes that will elaborate more on this, but I just feel that I should mention it so that we will know when we talk about theory, where we are coming from, how we get into it, and why we are using theory in social work practice. Social work is a very broad profession which intersects with several disciplines. It's a broad profession that intersects with several disciplines. In the area of sociology, we study man and his environment, philosophy, psychology, health, political science, like I've mentioned earlier, community development, law for justice, and so many other things that we might not be able to mention as a whole. We also dwell into management of human being now, management of people, management of group of people, management of a particular society or community. Then when we talk about economic too, we dwell into economic management by talking about empowerment, advocacy for empowerment, empowerment for people who are in need of financial support, and so many other things. So social work is a profession that dwell into different other disciplines so as to ensure that there is limit to the issue of poverty within the society, within the community, and within a family, and even with a particular individual. I hope I am communicating. So briefly, let us go into what we call social work theory. Social work theory is a type of a phenomenon that is describing, that is explaining, that is predicting the events which are based on scientific evidences, which are based on earlier or previous studies, which are based on different types of research that have been carried out by these different disciplines that we have mentioned earlier. So we now look at it and look at the application when it comes to some peculiar or particular issues, the approaches that we can take as a professional, the things that it is very, very necessary and needed by us as a professional in order to deliver all these services that are essential and that has been brought to our table. So we look at theory from these different perspectives and say, why do we really need theory in social work? Generally, I always tell people that there are 6 basic theories that are very, very important when we talk about the issue of social work. But there are more than that 6 basic theories that I want to mention today. The first theory has to do with social learning theory. We all remember that when we talk about socialization of an individual, we talk about how those individuals come about what we call learning, how they come about what they know, how they come about who taught them what they know, and how do they take it as a normal norm for them to know it, to practice it, to do it, to view it, or to even use what they know in doing some other things with other people or relating with other people. So this is one of the basic theory that is very, very essential in the field of social work. In the field of sociology, Albert Bandura is the person that posits the theory of the social learning. And it observes this theory and this position based on the modeling of individual and group of people's behavior. And he said that when we talk about learning, learning occurs in a person, and it is a social order that everybody, every individual must emulate or watch while another person or another individual that is close to such person is putting those actions up. Then this goes into the memory of that person that is very close to the person that is putting those actions on. And the memory is retained in such person. Then the individual see it as an experience, as a thing that has been stuck into the fore memory of that person, which such person can now repeat. So such person repeats such behavior. Then it is now left to the society to look at this behavior and look at it. Is this behavior a normal norm that is acceptable within this particular society? No, this is not a normal norm that is acceptable in this particular society. Then the society or the community or the group of people now tag such behavior as normal behavior, abnormal behavior. Then, because this particular behavior is tagged normal or abnormal, then there is a punishment or reward that is also attached to the exhibition of such behavior, which now call for the intervention of our own practice now to put a positive modeling or reinforcement of a positive modeling into that particular person to make it a new positive behavior, which is accepted by that group of people that have seen or have tagged such behavior as an abnormal or unacceptable behavior within that particular setting. That is why some of adages or some Yoruba adages will say one man's soup is another man's poison. So what is rejected within a particular society could be embraced by another particular society. So it depends on where an individual see itself, put itself, commit itself, that would dictate if this behavior is accepted or not accepted, if the society have stigmatized the behavior or not, if the society have tagged the behavior or not. So these are the issues that bring about our own area that we'll look into as we go on in this class. Another area of theory that we always dwell more into in social work is what we call the system theory. The system theory proposes that people are products of complex systems rather than their own individual issue, which is in isolation. This theory is telling us that behavior is influenced by varieties of factors that work together as a system. And these factors we talk about include your own immediate family, the friends you associated with, the friends we have while we are in primary school is different from those we have at the secondary level. It's also different from those we have when we get into university. And to talk less of it, when we graduated, when we go into working class, we have different types of people. Then, when we now also get married, we also have different sets of people, which will also set our particular way of doing things, which make it a system. Then we also have the social settings where we meet ourselves. Sometimes we might come from a very, 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 very not well-to-do background, but as we are growing, we find ourselves in a well-to-do social gathering or social people. And then there are some behaviors that is not expected at that particular strata again. So we need to learn or blend with wherever we have found ourselves. Sometimes religious or belief system will also mold our ways of behavior, and it becomes something else. And we forget about all the other ways of doing things, and we want to comply with the belief system or the religious structure. Sometimes also, like I've mentioned, the economic class and sometimes our home environment. Our home environment will also make us to have different behaviors. So system theory is used to treat different types of issues, which when we start the class next week, we will talk more about what we can use the system theories to treat when we come across people that are having such challenges. We also have what we call the psychosocial developmental theory. The psychosocial developmental theory was also introduced by German psychoanalyst, which we call Erik Erikson. Erik Erikson believes that personality is developed in series of stages, right from the time we are born to the time we become what we are today. And Erik Erikson helped by dividing these stages into 8 different stages, where he talks about the stages of our birth to 3 months. He talks about when we are still toddlers, when we talk about trust and mistrust, when we now have the issue of shame and doubt, when we have the issue of initiatives versus guilt, when we also have the ability to be industrious, and then why inferiority can set in based on where we are and the position we are. He also talk about the identities to confusion. He also talk about the intimacy versus isolation. He also talk about the generality versus the stagnation, and also integrity versus the despair. So the psychosocial development theory explains that humans pass through these stages as they age. And then these stages modify them with series of experiences based on the type of people they meet along the line, based on their interaction with their people, the environment, and so many other things. So that is what psychosocial development theory is talking about. Please, I want you to give me 5 minutes. Let me relocate myself from where I'm having this heavy noise so that we can enjoy the class. Just 5 minutes, we'll be back.
He has taken away my fears and given me peace of mind. So that you could see the way he answered me. So that you could, so that you could, so that you could. He has done. See the way he lifted me. So that you could. Oh yeah, girl. So that you could, he has done it for me. Let the trumpet play.
When I was worried and couldn't sleep, he was walking behind the scene. Oh, so that you could, he has done it for me. He has taken away the pain and given me joy and victory.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, I'm back. Who's giving us the best?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello?
This is very far by 5 minutes. Okay.
Who is so very people, you know?
And you are just waiting for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Then to give her 5 minutes. I want to say,
Please, is this the best people from my bowl? Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma. Hello, ma.
Who is playing Tobechiku for us?
If people should enjoy the Tobechiku now while we wait for our lecturer.
I am here.
Enjoy the Tobechiku while we wait for our lecturer.
The lecturer is here. The lecturer is here already. You.
Okay.
Please, I'm here. The Tobechiku should stop, please. Who is giving us Tobechiku now?
Maybe we should all mute our microphones then. Be able to follow who is playing. Mommy, we can start now. I think we can start. Everywhere is quiet now.
Hello.
Hello, ma.
Hello, ma. We can
Hello,
hear you,
ma.
ma.
You, ma.
Now, wow, we don't know the person that has turned his step to DJ.
Oh, God.
It's like the person wanted to preach for us before. So that's all about the psychosocial developmental theory. We also have the psychodynamic theory. By the time we are treating all this in our classes, you will see that they are really the 6 basic theory that whenever we want to go into practice, we should have it on our 4 fingers and work with it every time we are there. The psychodynamic theory is just telling us about the stigma fraud idea of humans and they are biologically driven to seek gratification. The theory is telling us that people do based on the processes that have developed outside of consciousness and awareness, which originate from their childhood. And this drives their influences in everyday behavior. And it leads to different actions in those individuals based on what they have experienced during that childhood. Some of them could be aggressive, some of them could be self-preserved, some of them could be fond of having sex, and so many of the things like that. So it explains the internal processes of individual, which it is used to guide their behavior. And that is when we talk about the roles of what the ID, the superego and the ego plays in every individual. So by the time we get there, we will know more about all of this because we are going to break it down and we will learn more about that. We also talk about the social exchange theory. The social exchange theory suggested that relationships are based on the cost-benefit analysis. Each person seeks to maximize their benefit and their expected benefit. Do you understand me now? That we receive from every individual. Please let us mute our mic. I'm saying it now, I will not repeat it again. It will not take me anything to remove anybody that distract us again from this class. So the social exchange theory is talking about what we want to gain by putting up a particular behavior. The theory is making us to understand that no individual put up a particular behavior without looking at what such individual will gain from the other hand. So the exchange theory is telling us that everybody, they put on a behavior because they want to gain something from the other person. When somebody has a relationship, and the relationship is either one person has power, the other doesn't have, one have resources, the other doesn't. Something must marry the two of you together. That's what the social exchange theory is trying to let us understand. We also have what we call the rational choice theory. The rational choice theory is explaining more about why people make their choices. They look at the risk, the cost, the benefits that is involved in these things, and that is why they make their choices. But sometimes they often miscalculate what the final decision is, and that is why the society is frowning at their decision. That is why the society is frowning at their irrational choice. And that is the reason why the society will try to influence their irrational choice so that they can make a rational choice. That is why the society will frown at their ways of doing things so that they could be influenced to do the right thing at the right time. So these are the theories that social workers must understand. It is a basic theory. I didn't say it's all the theories we want to work with, but they are the 6 basic theories that is leading us into why we are doing things, why we should not do it, and what makes us not to do it. In social work, we also have 6 practicing models. Please note this. I might not come back to the models again while taking your theories, because I believe that once I take these models now, you must be able to now look at those theories and marry it with the model while you are in the field of practice. Can I start?
Shoot, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
We have what we call the cognitive behavioral therapy. You see, when we talk about models, models are what enable social workers to implement theories in their day-to-day work. You know, they use the theories to guide their interventions. So, models are the things that are used based on the problems that they encounter from the client, or the problems the client brought onto their table. So they will look at those problems, they analyze it, and pick models that they can use in solving those problems. The first of the model is the cognitive behavioral therapy model. The cognitive behavioral therapy model focuses on how thoughts and feelings influence behaviors, which sometimes lead to psychological problems. This model helps clients identify their self-destructive thoughts that influence those negative emotions that lead to negative behaviors. It is used for individuals who are experiencing mental issues due to maybe depression, due to maybe illness, or due to crisis in trauma, when they have trauma and they overthink or they over-expect some things and they got into crisis. So the cognitive behavioral therapy model help these clients to eliminate negative thoughts so as to prevent destructive behaviors and the adverse outcomes. So the purpose of the cognitive behavioral therapy is to mold those individuals to let them see why they should think otherwise. Take, for example, a woman married somebody that is not from an ethical background or ethnic background. They don't have the same faith belief. They don't have the same educational qualification. And as time goes on, when the love started, it was very hot and everybody enjoyed themselves. And it was love at every side or at all sides. Then, as they are growing and they started having issues, and before she could understand what is going on, the man has already made up his mind to have another taste of another woman, which maybe is from his own ethnic group, from his own religious belief, from his own educational qualification. So in terms of everything, he and the other woman is balanced. Then he tried to abandon the second woman or the first woman because she is now becoming violent. She wants to fight her cause. She wants justice for herself. She thinks that the man has rejected her because maybe she's not from the same tribe with him, or maybe she does not have the same education with him, maybe because she's not speaking his language, maybe so many things could be attached to that. And she started to have trauma day and night, and before you know it, they collected all her children from her again, and so many things could set in. So in this type of issue now, then the woman feel like, okay, instead of me to lose, let me poison everybody, then we all die and go and meet God, then let God judge us. Since family cannot judge us properly, let God judge us. Do you understand me now? So such women, when they get to your table, the next thing is to try as much as possible to take those negative influence from them. Let them know that they are also a unique human being and they can do things uniquely, even better than the other party. Let them know that they worth millions in some other people's presence. Let them know their worth. So that's how cognitive behavioral therapy models are being used. It is a very vast model that has different and series of models. So before the end of the class, we are going to group ourselves, and then some people will go and work on those models and do presentation to us next class so that we can all learn this model while I face the theoretical aspects of the classes. Another model is the crisis intervention model. The crisis intervention models are used for clients who are experiencing crisis and trauma, such as people who are experiencing domestic violence in most cases. So many at times,
It's cracking, please, we can't hear you. Can you come back? The second model is what? It's cracking, we can't hear you.
Intervention model. The second model is crisis intervention model. I said it is a model that is used for clients who are experiencing crisis and trauma. and I make mention of some victims of domestic violence. Mr. Dayo, please remove that student that is disturbing the class. Please remove that student that is disturbing the class. Grace, remove Grace from this class. So, about Robert is one of those who propounded this model, and they are in 7 stages. The crisis intervention models are in 7 stages. They talk about the assessment, the establishment rapport, the identifying the major crisis or the causes of the major crisis. They talk about allowing the client to express their feelings and emotion. This one I already for the group that will do this. They also talk about how to generate and exploit safe alternative for coping. Different types of coping mechanics will be drawn out by you and your clients, not only you. Then they create an action plan, and then they follow up all this action plan. And also, when the client is out of this crisis, they also have an follow-up intervention so that the client will not relapse into such crisis again. The third model is the narrative therapy model. The narrative therapy model is the type of model that is used in helping many individuals to recognize that they can change their life stories by themselves. They use this model to separate an individual from their problem, and they allow them to think about possible solutions to fix those problems. So they make them to view their problem from outside themselves and then fix possible issues that can be put in place to fix all these problems by themselves. Then the fourth one is what we call the problem-solving models. The problem-solving model was created by Ellen Harris Palmer. A social worker, and is a guru in casework. This helps the individual to identify their problems. They create an action plan to solve the problem, just like the former one, but the stages of this is not up to 7. Then they implement the solutions together with everybody that is involved. That is why some of these models involve the family of the people that are involved. So they take necessary action, they look at the strategy, they adjust some of the strategy, and they put up the action and focus mainly on the concrete problem, and they pick one issue at a time so that they can get to the root of the problem and then know what to do by getting out of it when the time comes. There's another model which we call the solution-focused therapy or model. The solution-focused model involves the social worker and clients identifying a particular problem, creating solution based on that individual's strengths. Many a times is a very short-term practice model because it focuses at helping the client cope with the challenges they have by using a specific behavior to take it away from them. So in the solution-focused therapy or model, they, instead of focusing on challenging who a client is, they focus on the therapy or the issues or behaviors they will put in place to change the client's actions to a favorable outcome in some situation. So with this model, clients are allowed to play a very active role in implementing such necessary actions to achieve the positive change. So they are the lead role players, while the social worker will only look, observe, monitor, and ensure that the right things are done at the right time. We also have what we call the task-centered practice model. The task-centered practice model is a type of model that breaks down a problem into a manageable task. And a deadline is given. This deadline is agreed between the social worker and the client. They agree that they put it into writing and they all go into action. It is a goal-setting type of model that helps every individual that is involved to make consistent steps towards improving their lives. Instead of focusing on the past about what has happened to them, the practice encourages the clients to live in the present and also think about things to put up for a positive impact in the future. Am I communicating? So at this junction, let's quickly divide ourselves into four groups. Any other person that comes will fall into that, within that four group in my class. Who is going to be our class rep?
I can be, ma.
Who?
Temitope Morayo Njoko.
Okay. So please make four groups and divide every one of us here, except your lecturers. So if you divide me into group, I will just be hearing your joke. I will not talk.
I'm sorry, ma. Yes, ma.
So divide every one of us, apart from Mr. Dayo, Miss Efosa.
Yes, sir.
Divide
Yes,
every one of us into your group 4.
Okay.
Four groups, sorry. Divide the whole class into 4 groups and let us find work for ourselves now. Assignment. Group 1. Group 1.
Okay, ma, can be calling the names here?
No. Don't call name. That one will be after the class. But
Okay,
take the assignments. So by the time
Okay,
you put them into group, you give them what the assignment is.
All right, ma'am.
The group 1 is going to talk about the cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay, ma'am.
And they will mention types of cognitive behavioral therapy models we have in the field of social work, because the psychologists also use cognitive behavioral therapy. We borrowed it from them. They will talk about the types of cognitive behavioral therapy we have in the field of social work. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So with this, it will ginger some other people to go and learn more about the cognitive behavioral therapy, because it's one of the models that is very, very essential when we talk about social work. Group 2 will talk about crisis intervention model. Crisis intervention model. And they will elaborate more on those stages of the crisis intervention model. Group 3 will talk about the problem-solving models. Group 3 will talk about this problem-solving model. They will also tell us the different types of problem-solving models we have in social work practice, and when to use each of those problem-solving models. Group 4 will talk about the task-centered practice model. Task-centered practice model. Are we there?
Yes, ma'am.
So please, re-echo it for every one of us, and let us hear it.
Okay, ma'am. You said for group 1, that group 1 will take cognitive behavior therapy model. And then we'll mention types of the cognitive behavioral therapy model we have in social work field for group 1.
Okay.
Then group 2, they'll deal with crisis intervention model. They would also elaborate on the stages of crisis intervention model in the social work field. Then group 3 will talk about the problem solving model and tell us the different types of problem solving therapy model in social work and also when to apply it. Then the group 4 will take the task-centered practice model.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Group 4 will also tell us about the different types of task-centered practice models and how it is being used in the field of social work.
Okay, ma'am.
Can we call it a day, or I should go ahead?
I don't know.
Everybody, can we call it a day, or I should go ahead?
Please, can I go ahead, ma'am?
Please, ma'am, go ahead.
Go ahead. Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay. Now, which theory should we treat first?
Let's do the conflict theory, man.
Conflict theory, no. You start with conflict theory, you might not be able to understand. Oh, well. Why will you have conflict when you have not learned anything?
Ma, let's do the family life cycle theory.
No, Mark Conju, you are coming back to that. You have not
Let's start
learned
with the
anything.
first theory,
You are
social
talking
learning
about
theory.
family.
Let's
Let's
start with
learn
the
the
social
first one,
learning
social
theory.
learning theory.
Yes, we will start with the social learning theory because that's where you start your life. Do you understand me now?
Yes,
That is
ma'am.
where you really want to know what the social learning is all about. What is learning? What is Albert Badura is the founder of the social learning theory. He propounded that theory in 1925. No, sorry, he was born in 1925. Albert Badura is the founder of social learning theory. And we also call him the father of cognitive therapy or cognitive theory model. He's the founder of the social learning theory about Badura. I will not want to talk about the cognitive aspect of his work, but I will only tell you a little about Badura. So he was born in 1925 in a small town in the northern Alberta. Alberta is in Canada. It is located approximately 50 miles from Edmonton. He went to school, and in his school he has only 2 teachers according to history. So as he was growing up, he has interest in psychology. So he was enrolled into the British Columbia University, and they gave him biological sciences as major. So he now saw his interest in psychology as an accident. So he started to think more about it and think of why he was not given that psychology, why the biological science, and so many other things. But he graduated from the Columbia University as a psychology because he has to change his course. And then he went further to read more, and then eventually he has PhD in clinical psychology from the University of Iowa in 1952. So eventually he was around 20-something years when he had his PhD degree. But in 1974, he was elected as one of the outstanding psychology in the American Psychological Association. So In 2006, they gave him, no, sorry, not 2006, 2004, they gave him the father of cognitive therapy. So with him, he was looking at the learning, social learning theory as an interaction which is between a particular individual and the performance or the potentials of the people around such an individual within a particular environment. So he think about it and he mentioned in one of his books that the relative permanent change in a person is the knowledge and the behavior such person has due to the experiences within that particular environment. So, in essence, he sees learning as a product of the forces within the environment where an individual developed or grew. So, a social learning theory is based on observation, imitation, and modeling. Whereas the cognitive learning model, I shouldn't have said this, but we don't have any choice because I want you to know more about these things and how they are interwoven. Why the cognitive learning theory, the social cognitive learning model or theory or therapy, sorry, is based on observation, understanding, predicting, and changing humans' behavior. I hope we now see the difference between the two. The social learning theory is a theory that is cited as an essential component of sustainable natural resources management. And it is also seen as a theory that is meant to promote a desirable behavioral change. So, Badura and all his followers believe that the theory is based on the ideas that we learn from our interactions with others in a social context. So we observe these people behavior, we imitate their behavior, we assimilate what they do, and then we put it as an experience and we start doing such. The general principle of social learning theory are assumed to operate in the same way throughout the life of an individual. Mr. Dayo, remove that student from the class. So they are of the belief that people learn from one another, like I said earlier, through observation, through imitation, and through modeling from what they have learned, because they have put it, they have recorded that in their memory, and they always want to exhibit what they have recorded in their memory. So, in essence, Badura believed that when we talk about cognitive, that is why he put his theory and attached it to cognitive. He believed that cognitive plays a role, a very vital role in learning. If you want to know what cognitive is all about, when you have a baby, a newborn baby, try to attach something like toy or anything very close to the cot of the newborn baby. Then the day you will remove that thing, you will know that the child is cognitive about his or her environment. So the child will look towards that thing, and it's just for the child to ask you, where is this thing that is always attached to this place? And before you know it, maybe 2 days after you bring that thing, and you will see the excitement in the child. They fling the hand and the leg together and put up a smile. So that is all about cognitive, a little about cognitive, because we are not in education or child development class, so we might not be able to say more about that. So Badura put up different types of observation experiments. So from the conclusion of his experiments, he now look at the reinforcement or reward when we talk about behavior. They believe that everybody imitates the behaviors that they learn or they observed. But then, if there is reinforcement or reward, you will see that some behaviors can easily be changed without even shouting. Take, for example, a paraactive individual is told that if you can sit on your chair for 2 hours, you're going to have what you cherish most. And people that deal with such people knows what they cherish most. Some of them love eating in between meals. Some of them don't even play with their meal at all. Then you tell them to sit for 2 hours without moving, then they will be given a delicious meal. You will see that they will even sit more than 2 hours. That's why he's talking about the words. Then sometimes reinforcement will come in. That is why you will see that in the school in those days, the big cane indicates that you don't know what we teach you. We give you one on your head, and the head is reshaped. And once a child is seeing cane in front, beside the teacher's table, when they say 1 + 1 is 2, you just climb it straight. And that is those days when you see the children, they read the state and capital offhand. They read so many things offhand because, not because they want to know it, but because of the reinforcement that is beside the teacher, which the teacher is even using as a model of touching the board. To look at it and say, and they will quickly know all those things that the teacher is teaching them. And so many other ways of reinforcement too. And when we talk about imitation of behavior, they observed these characteristics and different elements from people that are very, very close to them or are within their environment, especially some behaviors that cause attention, that attract attention from other people. So, by the time this behavior calls for attention, the retention memory of the other person grab it immediately because it calls attention of other people. And within a very short time, the memory will click it and retain it. Then, there comes a time where such behavior will be easily repeated by somebody that is watching. Yes, in the area of getting attention, you will behave that way, then some other people will also learn, and it goes like that. Now, when we talk about imitating behavior, Badura observed 3 basic models for observational learning. If I'm too fast, let me know, because I really want you to know this. The first basic model is called the life model. The life model involves individual actually demonstrating or acting out of a behavior. That is a life model. Then the second type of model that he brings out for us to look at is the verbal instructional model. And this type of model involves description, explanation of a particular behavior. While the third one is pointing at fictional characters displaying behaviors. It could be in film, it could be on television program, it could be on online media, it could also be in books.
Sorry, ma. Please, I did not.
Please, can you take the third one again, ma?
The symbolic model. The symbolic model involves fictional characters displaying behaviors which could be imitated from film, from television programs, from online media, or books. Are we there? If we could remember when we are in school and we read the book, The Lion and the Jewel, before you know it, among ourselves, we quickly stigmatize ourselves. Is that not it? You will see somebody will say, you are Mr. Bako, you are the village edge, you are the teacher, you are CD, like that, like that. So that's what they are talking about, the symbolic model. Before you know it, it becomes a fictional character, which you could easily model if you are not very careful. So the instructive reinforcement is looking at the former of learning, which is described as a form of internal reward, which could be a form of pride, it could be satisfaction, and sometimes it could be sense of accomplishment.
Sorry, ma, I didn't get you, ma. Please.
Intrinsic reinforcement, on the other hand, of learning, could be form of internal reward, maybe such as pride, satisfaction, or sense of accomplishment. Let's take, for example, if you watch Pride of Judah or many films that is being played or dramatized by Funke Akindele, you will see that when he wants to express some things, he uses his left hand to give people backhand. Then before you know it, if you are not very careful, if you are fond of his film or program, you also use that left hand to hit somebody. Before you realize that, I'm already behaving like Funke Akindele. That is an instructive reinforcement in every individual, which has to do with a format learning. Am I communicating?
Yes, ma.
So, Badura criticized this process and believed that external environmental reinforcement is not the only factor to influence learning and behavior. That is why he went further to look at the modeling process. So in modeling process, he looked at 4 different things that are essentials to this modeling process. The first thing he looked at is the attention of an individual. If you don't pay attention to a particular model, you might not really have interest in the modeling. Am I communicating? So he believed that once you give attention to a particular thing, there will be retention. And once there is retention, there is reproduction. And the reproduction will give you motivation. Am I communicating? In modeling process, Badura considered 4 things: attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. Are we there? Are we there?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Okay. Now, he now went further that if we talk about social learning theory, there are different views and perspectives of people towards it. The first perspective has to do with reinforcement and punishment.
And this can be categorized as indirect effects on learning. And they are not the main cause, or are they? Yes. Another thing is the influence, the extent at which an individual exhibits what they have learned. You know that if there's no attention, like he has mentioned, you might not really exhibit the behavior. Am I communicating? You also look at the influence of expectation of reinforcement. Which this is more on the cognitive processes that promote learning. Take for example, we want to be a certified social worker or we want to be a professional social worker. Then the first thing we ask ourselves, how can I be a professional social worker? How can I be part of those who are calling themselves professional social worker? Yes, the first thing, I make inquiry. Then they said I should pick a form. If you don't have interest at that level, you might not pick any form. Ṣé dandan ni ká ṣe PGD? Me that I have already gotten masters and sometimes me that I have PhD, must I go for PGD? But because of your interest and you want to know more about the social work of a thing, okay, if it's PGD, let me do the PGD. At least I will learn more about the social work. I will be able to talk when they are even talking. Okay, yes. So the cognitive process of you recognizing the particular certificate, of you picking the form, of you even committing your time to the class, will promote your learning because you have devoted your time to learn more about social work. So there's every tendency that you pay more attention to this learning. Now, let's look at the role attention will now put in you, because the attention you pay into the critical role in learning will influence your expectation of reinforcement. Now, we started the class today. I gave you assignment, and you might not be able to do that assignment if you don't read more about that particular topic. You must have an in-depth about it. And as you are reading more, you ask yourself some peculiar questions, which you will go back to look for the solution. And that has reinforced you into reading more books and learning more from what you have gotten in the class. So, the social learning theory is talking about how people learn things, ideas, activities, behavior, which is based on watching what others do. And this could be a thing that varies from one individual to another. It depends on the personality. Are we there?
Yes, ma'am.
So, in essence, there are three key things that is attached to the social learning theory. The three key thing is the personal factor. That is number one. It starts from the biological effects. It goes to the cognitive and effectiveness of what we have learned. So, personally, if you are born not to have time to learn, you might not be able to learn. If you are born not to have the capacity of learning, you might not be able to learn. That is why we talk about the biological. For example, if you are mentally challenged right from when you are young, you might not be able to learn. And also, I also tell people, sometimes even the mentally challenged one that are very, very critical on the street, they imitate. They imitate people's behavior. They move ahead, they imitate, they laugh at it, they move ahead, they imitate. So things like that could happen. So it depends on an individual. So the individual now interacts with the environment. We talk about different environmental factors and agencies, which include the school, your friends, your family, people you are living with, people around you, people you interact with, the social medias around you. So many things that is playing their roles formally or informally around you. Then with this, by the time you pay attention to this thing, it gives you retention of memories. And by the time you have this retention of memories, you try to exhibit what you have over there, so you practicalize. And from this, you might practicalize it in a place where you are easily accepted and they see nothing wrong with your behavior. But if you do it where it is not accepted, they will see it as an abnormal behavior. So, in essence, Badura gave us a clue about self-regulation, which is the area we social workers are concerned. Now, take this self-regulation into consideration and know it very well. Self-regulation is subdivided into three different subheads. The first aspect of self-regulation has to do with self-monitoring. When we talk about self-monitoring, do we give attention to our behaviors? If we give attention to our behaviors, what about the actions that we put up? Is it understandable or it is a diagnosed action? If this is considered, are the behaviors going, is it motivating us? If it is motivating us, do we achieve the goals we want to achieve? Do we even care about feedback about ourselves? Some people don't really care about the feedback about themselves. And if anybody mentioned issue of feedback about themselves, they quarrel seriously with you. The second thing we consider when we talk about self-regulation is self-judgment. Mr. Dayo, remove that person from the class. Remove that musician from the class. Georgia, remove Georgia from the class. Self-judgment. In self-judgment, we look at two things that are very, very critical. We evaluate our behavior. You know, in the first part of self-monitoring, we said we give attention to our self-behavior. Now we evaluate our behavior. Then secondly, we set a personal standard. The personal standard we set to ourselves, we serve the significant others, and then we also serve the social influences around us. With this, we can be able to judge ourselves. Then the third thing that is considered when we talk about the self-regulation is the self-reaction, which has to do with feelings. Our feelings has a lot to do with our ways of life, with our ways of doing things, and every other thing that is attached to it. Our feelings will let us take some behaviors as crucial as the way we want to do it because we feel we have done the right thing. And these behaviors can also lead us into challenges which we might not be able to really quantify or solve the problem when it starts. So we need to be very careful with the way we do our things. And for social worker, this is one of the theories that helped us to, it really helped us to manage people, place them where they belong, treat them according to their problem, solve their problems or solution to their problem, and allow them to be in charge of their new ways of life. Thank you all for listening. Do we have any questions?
Thank you so much, Ma, for the class. Please, Ma, at the point where you started with the 3 key things attached to the social learning theory, I got the first point, which is the personal factor, which we're explaining about the biology affects individuals with the way they behave and all that. But from that point, I didn't know if it was the environmental factor, and then the next thing I was hearing was the self-regulation. So I don't even know where to connect them now. So I missed it from the 3 key things attached to the social learning theory. I got the first one, which is the personal factor. I don't know the second and the third.
Environmental factors.
Yes,
environmental factors, who could be your friend, your relative, your dad, your mom. You know, sometimes you make models from your immediate family, your uncles, your aunties, your sisters.
your brothers.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
understand me now? Your
Yes, ma'am.
friends at the initial stage, at the later stage.
Yes, ma'am.
Your co-workers will be your issue. Do you understand me now? Your
Yes, ma'am.
co-workers will be your issue. Your co-tenants, your neighbors, people around you. So we target environmental factors. So all these will influence your behavior. Take for example, you are the type that goes on your own, you go to work, you come back, then they posted you to an office where every weekend they must go for party and it's a ritual thing. And initially you don't want to join them, you are doing homobody or I'm a local champion, I don't want to spend my money anyhow. Then before you know it, they are bringing Ashoebi, and then when they bring, you didn't buy, they will not talk. One day you just mention, my mommy is going to celebrate her birthday next week. Then before you know it, on your table, different gifts for your mom. No, you'll be forced to be buying the Ashoebi with them, because you did not even call them when you want to have your own celebration. They put all their effort just to tell you that you are welcome to our group. We want you, we want to associate with you, we want you by all means. Then before you know it, if you are not very careful, every Saturday you are also in Owambe. And then the little money you're supposed to use to do some other things for yourself, you started to go from one party to another. Then if you are not an alcohol user, you started to practice taking just one bottle, just one bottle. Then before you know it, you graduate to 2 bottles. Then before you know it, you take 3 bottles, and it goes on like that. So that is what we mean by environmental factors that will influence behaviors. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Which is the third factor, ma'am?
Yes, that's the third factor. The behavioral issue is the third factor.
Okay, behavioral issues.
Yes, the behavioral issue is the third factor.
Okay,
the behaviors of those who learn from those in the environment. We talk about paying attention, then retention. Those are the issues. It's a very straightforward theory that talks about issues, and if you look at it within your environment, you agree with Badura.
Yes, ma'am.
By the time you retain, you want to reproduce. By the time you reproduce, you get motivated, like you said earlier. Any other question?
Okay.
I hope you are clear with that.
Yes, ma'am, I'm clear, ma'am, but further confusion after the behavioral issue. Then you talked about self-regulation, self-monitoring, self-judgment, and self-regulation.
Yes, we say that when we talk about those 3 cardinal things, then we need stages of how we can regulate ourselves so that we don't go into the bad behaviors that the society will frown at. Do you understand me now? Then I mentioned that how do we regulate ourselves so that we don't go the other way. We go a positive way. We talk about the self-monitoring, the self-judgment, and the self-reaction. Am I clear now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Excuse me, I have a question, please.
Yes, please ask.
Under self-regulation, ma'am, you said we have 7, but you gave us 3.
No, I never mentioned 7. I said self-regulation is divided into 3 different heads, which have some other sub-heads. Self-monitoring, self-judgment, and self-reaction. All these 3 is just to regulate you to still be within the normal norm
of the acceptable behavior within your environment and the society where you find yourself. And we now mentioned, when we talk about self-monitoring, how do you monitor yourself? You pay attention to your own behavior. Do you understand me now? You pay attention to the actions that came out of your behavior, which could be diagnosed or understanding. When we talk about the diagnosed behavior, they are the behavior or actions that came out of reactions towards particular things. That's why I don't want to talk much. I want you to read so that you can know it the way I am knowing it or the way I knew it. Do you understand me now?
Yes,
so that you can be an expert of yourself. And after talking and mentioning all these things, I said we can use cognitive behavioral therapy or model or theory in social work so as to manage people's behavior within the society of environment where they are coming from and where they have found themselves, and change their feelings to a positive one. Any other question?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
So back to the question the other person asked the other time. You said the key, so personal factors, environmental factor. So the third aspect is self-regulations, ma'am. Am I correct, ma'am? Just for clarity.
No, behavior.
Okay,
Behavior.
Okay, behavior.
Yes, it's behavior.
Thank you, Ver. That's all.
Any other thing?
Last sleep, ma.
Okay.
Ma, the assignment you gave us, we are going to present in your next class, ma.
Yes, in my next class of theory, not family.
Yes, ma. My next class of theory. Okay, ma. So is it going to be we have one person to speak on behalf of the group?
It depends on the group. Oh.
Okay, ma.
If we give you
ma.
time, all of you can speak. That's within our specified time.
Okay, ma.
Go back, Kabako.
Hakanima.
Stop.
Yes, ma.
Excuse me, I have a question, please.
Yeah.
Though it affects me as a person, I would like to know. I joined late, and I know it is a fault from me. You've commenced the class before then. Are there provisions for us, please, that we can revert to? I don't know if that could be a privilege from you, ma'am.
Revert to what?
I met. Hello, I joined in the class late, so I don't know if the class has commenced before I came in. So I would like to know. I missed a few things. I don't know if there is anything I can refer to, just to catch up. That's what I meant. Thank you.
Next time, when they tell you class start by 1, come 1.
Okay, ma'am. Noted.
Mm-hmm. That should be a reinforcement for you.
All right,
if you are giving you reverting, then you will be reverting all the time. So don't revert. If you want to revert, you ask your colleagues, they will tell you.
Thank you very much.
Ma'am, please, I want to ask a question. Is there a handout for it, or we should just go and sort it out ourselves?
If you pay, they will give you handout.
Ma?
But don't miss my class. My class, I take it from sometimes. That's my advice to you.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much for your time today. Just a kind of tiny bit of maybe not a diversion, not even any kind of emphasis, but more like a request because of knowledge needs. Now, there's no excuse for not attending your classes on time. There's no excuses for coming in late. But I honestly strongly believe that there's need for reference for all of us. After we've had your class, I believe strongly that we should be able to have something that we can always go back to refresh.
They have this class is being recorded.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to confirm that.
And they must have asked you before you commence on the class that they are recording the class. Are you in agreement? Then you say yes, then they allow you in. So this class is being recorded.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other question? For those of you who have not seen me before, I'm putting on the video so that you can recognize me when you.
Nice to meet you and see your face, ma.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Well done, ma. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
God
So
bless
that's
you, ma.
Yes, ma.
Nice to meet you, ma.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nice
So can
meeting
we
you,
call?
ma.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Okay. Nice to meet you, ma. Nice to meet you, ma.
Yeah. So thank you very much for coming to the class. Let us call it a day for today. So we'll meet in another class, which is family. So please do your assignments. Class rep, try to group others, liaise with the head office, group others among or under the 4 groups so that everybody will be in a group.
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay. Have
Thank
a
you, ma'am.
pleasant day, everybody. Thank you. We will meet
Thank
next
you,
week.
ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma.
We'll send to go to the WhatsApp group by the end of the WhatsApp group. The end of today, please. Okay, I can leave now.